Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and welcome to That to Shoot, our weekly episode where I talk about the good and bad world of professional wrestling. Called Put Over and Buried. Now I have a main topic. Once again, I must apologize. I have been so busy that I have not been able to do the topic that I've been wanting to do, part three of um, who was the iteration of the best character and everything like that. Um, but I've got a little topic that I can sink my teeth into, and hopefully you can as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get the show started. And as always, we'll start with put over. And the first thing we got to put over is the Andrade Angel Garza come to Jesus meeting that they had, and now they're now fighting the Street Profits for the tag team titles. More than likely, it's not been announced yet, but obviously they came together and they are now going to go after the tag team titles. And I think that's a good team to go where good team to transfer to from the Street Profits. I think maybe the way they're going is that the Street Profits are going to lose the titles to Angel and Andrade, and maybe they might see a heel turn here, and maybe they might join the MVP group. So we'll see. But I do like the way I do like the fact that they kind of doing this thing where they teased a breakup, but now it looks like they're going to go ahead and maybe hopefully move the titles onto them and start something even more. The next thing I want to put over is the Mysterio family. Again, I love this. I love this thing that they're going with Mysterio and Dominic and then Seth Rollins and his crew. I love it. And this we're getting closer and closer to Dominic, getting into this ring, and I'm not sure necessarily how they're gonna do it. I'm not sure, what's it gonna be. I'm not sure if it's gonna be Seth himself or if it's gonna be like a Buddy and Austin Theory against um, Dominic. I'm not sure, but in whichever way it does happen, it looks like um, this is going to be interesting. So so to least. So love the way that they're doing that. Um, the three-way North American title on NXT. Again, good stuff here. Good stuff here. Keith Lee won. I gotta be honest. I was kind of hoping maybe he would lose, but then I can maybe see necessarily what they could be going for here. Because again, what I'm hoping happens is that um, July 8th when they come back or whenever they come back. Um, um, and they do the match between Keith Lee and Adam Cole for winner takes all. What happens? I hope Adam Cole wins that. I hope Adam Cole wins it all, and is the NXT champion and the North American champion. He wins both. So then, what could happen is, as we go to the takeover, um, for wherever they do SummerSlam or anything like that, not going to be in Boston because the Boston people said that no people into the stands until no people in the stands until um, Labor Day, anything like that. So Labor Day would be the earliest before you would start seeing people in buildings and things like that. So who knows when and where SummerSlam will be right now. But I'm sure they still would do the takeover before SummerSlam. Hopefully we don't get like a two-night SummerSlam or some bullshit like this. Um, and what I would like to see is there. At that point, I'd like to see Adam Cole do the Seth Rollins thing from Night of Champions, where Seth Rollins fought John Cena and Sting back to back. I'd like to see Adam Cole do that, fight somebody, whether it's Finn Balor, whether it's Johnny Gargano, whether it's Damian Priest, whoever. Fight them back to back, where Adam Cole would then lose the North American title, and then he would also lose the NXT title, and lose the NXT title to Keith Lee, and lose the NXT title to somebody else. But that's where I like to see them go with this. I don't know if I want, yeah, it doesn't make sense to do that Keith Lee storyline on on television to where he went. That seems like that should be something that where now it's I know you're talking about where there's no fans in this thing. Fans are trainees, but it does feel like it needs to be on the big stage, and the takeover with SummerSlam would obviously be a big stage. So I think that's where they should do with it. My categories. Um, and then the final thing I want to put over is Bailey and Nikki Cross was made. Now it's not necessarily I'm going to put over the fact that it was made this week, but I want to put over with what I think could happen. And I know this is kind of thing that you're putting over, what you want to see, but just hear me out here. Sasha Banks is challenging Oscar for the Raw Women's title, and we have Bailey now taking on Nikki Cross for the Women's title. So let's say they've been doing Bailey dose straps for last 3 or 4 weeks, right? But let's just think about what could happen where you could then see Nikki Cross beat Bailey and become the SmackDown Women's Champion, and then you see Sasha Banks beat Asuka to become the Raw Women's Champion. And now we have Sasha, whatever she's going to call herself, and now Bailey has the title, and now we actually have the thing now where we're now getting somewhere even more like that, right? Because I think I think now it's going to make more sense when Bailey turns on Sasha Banks, right? I think now it makes more sense that you know Sasha is jealous, but she's been happy for her friend. Now it's time for Bailey to get jealous, but Bailey can't be happy for her. Bailey needs to be the one that has the two straps. Bailey's the one that needs to have a spotlight. And I think this is the way they're gonna go down. This is what I think. I truly think they're gonna do this. So, this could add another wrinkle to their to their thing, to their feud. So I hope this is the way it's going down. So yes, I love that they're having both in their title matches, and I would even love it even more if they both if they put Bailey, if they put the title on Nikki and they put the title on Sasha. That would be even better. Now to bury, and only got two buries this week. The first thing we're gonna bury is anybody who has a problem with the Big Show having a feud with Randy Orton. When it happened on Monday and you saw where it was going, a lot of people on Twitter were doing like the whole they were upset that like Big Show versus Randy Orton in 2020 and they wasn't about it. But listen, this is a story that I think is continuing on. And listen, I don't know if Edge was healthy, if they would have done the Edge one again. I kind of think maybe what they would have done is they still would have waited till SummerSlam. Now they'll have to. Hopefully they can do it at WrestleMania with the third match, and make it even better when it's in front of fans and everything like that. But there's not a lot of you know crap that is going on here. So I really do think that we need to stop trying to, stop when these things happen. Stop trying to push things off until the future, because or in the past, excuse me, because what happening in the past is in the past. What's happening now is just what's happening now. I know that sounds simple as fuck, but that's what it is. And whatever happened between Randy and Big Show in the past that you may not have liked or you may have liked doesn't mean that it can't happen now. Right now, Randy Orton he's at his peak position. He is motivated. He is ready. He's been doing fantastic work ever since the Edge thing happened. And here now he's the best. I don't want to say the best heel because Seth Rollins is doing good work too, but he's one of the top two heels in WWE. I might say Randy Orton's the top heel in the business. I really do. I might think that where he's going right now, and so yeah, whatever. And he likes that. So Big Show's a legend. So why not? You know, and I think they can do some good stuff. Big Show's got in better shape. So he can work a little better. And Randy Orton could probably get some good stuff out of him. It'll probably be a great match at Red Extreme Rules. So anybody who has a problem with the Big Show returning, you can go fuck off somewhere, man. I mean, I'm so sick of it. All these people always doing that. When Big Show. I've been one time earlier this year. When someone said, someone put up there, if you have a problem, if you are okay with the Big Show coming back in 2020, then you are the one with the. I think it was the night that Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe needed help, and he brought up the Big Show. And I said, no, you're. I blocked. I took a screenshot and I blocked him. Then I said, no, dude, you are the problem with wrestling because you have this entitledness to it. That it should be one. That it should be. That these guys shouldn't be doing this at this point in time. So fuck off. So yeah, anybody has a problem with the Big Show return, go fuck yourself. And of course, the second thing is a very big berry. I want to bury. Um, I want to bury anybody that has been, accused of these stories in the speaking out movement, and you know, I am a innocent to proven guilty guy, and I am. This is how I am, and I'm not. So while I don't want to jump to conclusions because as low as the statistics are, there can be um there can be um false accusations. Um, but also when you think about it, these accusations, some of them may not be able to be adjudicated because they might have gone past the statute of limitations. You know, and some of these accusations aren't criminal. Nevertheless, they're just creepy and scummy. You know what I mean? So working out with a thing. Hey, Mina, hush. And so they are just um it's they're not um anything that you like. It's not like a thing where it's innocent to a proven guilty type of thing, right? Because um but it just feels wrong, right? um Yes, just many people are talking about like some of the things where a guy who is in his 30s is sleeping with a 16-year-old, but the age of consent is 16. You know, and so and it just and even though what he's done is legal, it's it, right. This makes this like come on. So I just think that um if you're a wrestler, if you're a trainer, your organization, anything like that, and you've had these allegations, about you, um, and things like that, it's just, it really is awful. It really is awful, and you, I'm not saying that in some cases, it's not necessarily the fact that maybe are a bad person or anything like that. A lot of people come up with statements that says that they were in bad places in their lives, or they were doing bad. They were just they were being immature, being dicks to people in their relationships and things like that, and they mature, and that's fine and that's good, and I'm glad that you have matured and become a better person. Still, man, it's such really just a bad way to do things. So yeah, I without question, I've got to bury um, all of the individuals that were accused of the horrible and gross and heinous things from the speaking out movement. Um, it really, technically, it's still happening. It's still happening every day. I will see a retweet from an organization that I follow who has retweeted a wrestler or a trainer or something like that with another story that they've written in their note on their phone. Um, and even like Keith Lee had one. It's his story is not necessarily the fact that he was like abused by a trainer or anything like that, or but it was just the fact that some woman tried to, just seemingly drugged him and to have a night with him when he didn't seem to be interested in with having that. So, and I don't know if this woman knew who I can't remember now. I don't know if he knew that he was Keith Lee, a wrestler, or if they knew, or if they just thought he was a attractive dude. But you know, whatever. So it's yeah, it's hopefully things will get better in the wrestling organization, in the wrestling business, and um, yeah. So now for our main topic, and our main topic has nothing to do with the speaking out movement. It just seems to be someone who was a bad employee. Tessa Blanchard was fired from Impact Wrestling and stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, several months ago, Tessa Blanchard became the first woman to win the Impact Heavyweight Championship, um, and and apparently she's gonna defend it in at the Slammiversary pay per view that Impact puts on, and they have been asking her to record promos and send them into her, but she has not done that. She was living in Mexico with her boyfriend, who's also an Impact wrestler, and she just decided not to do promos, send them in, or anything like that. And I guess she does not want to travel because of the pandemic that is happening, and also I think that when it comes down to it, anyway, if she did have to travel, she would have to quarantine because she's coming in from Mexico. Um, Quarantine for 14 days, so I guess that's how long it's the Slammiversary is coming right around. So I guess the fact that she hadn't come into the states yet, and the fact that she hadn't done the promos, caused Impact Wrestling to say, "Hey, screw this." We've got Moose. Moose is Moose is the Impact champion, and from now on, and so they stripped her of the title and terminated her contract. And Tessa Blanchard is also the person who earlier this year uh, she had her own like personal speaking out moment as people on Twitter started to talk about her. It was started by Allison Kay, aka Sienna. Um, as you know, apparently Tessa did something. She quote tweeted um, somebody and she given a women empowerment type of speech, and I don't think I just think Chelsea Green may have started it. I think Chelsea Green did something that wish would have been women empowerment, been about women empowerment, and not bullied me or something like that, I believe. And then I think Alison Kay, started. She talked about how she bullied a black girl when they were in Japan, and even called her the N word, accused of her calling her the N word. And so many other things started to come out about Tessa Blanchard and how she hasn't been, she's not been the nicest person, and and even the fact that one of the reasons why WWE didn't didn't want to work with didn't want to have Tessa Blanchard, didn't want to work with her, but it's because she had she had problems doing the Mae Young Classic, and that, so they decided not to even do things with her. And that he would love to sign someone like Tessa Blanchard, who has the thing of the bloodline of being Tully Blanchard's daughter. That would have been they loved that. Look, think about it. Everybody they've tried to sign everybody's child. Almost, I'm surprised. They may have tried to sign Brian Pillman Jr., but then Brian Pillman doesn't want to work with WWE because of what the stuff that went down with his father on television, and so who knows? But I'm sure they've always tried to sign people's sons, the sons of legends, or daughters of legends. Simone Johnson, you know, that's fourth generation. Rock, Rocky Johnson, Peter Maivia, you know. Um, so yeah, there was a lot of stuff about Tessa Blanchard going on right now, and we're going back then, and she, and even though all of that went down, they still decided to put the title on her and to make her the first ever women's world champion in Impact history. And now it just seems like the relationship was deteriorating, and this pandemic happened, and now look where we are. She's been fired and stripped. This is probably been the first time this has happened since Ric Flair, right? When Ric Flair, the world champion, was fired by Jim Herd in WCW, and he went to WWE. But this is like the first time this has happened. So, um, I'm not sure what happens now for Tessa Blanchard, because she does have that stigma. She does have that stigma of being accused of using the N word. She does have the stigma of being a bad locker room person, and so I'm just not sure where she goes from here. I'm not sure what happens. They they don't have anybody. AEW can obviously use her, but their stance on this has been, for what they said about Hulk Hogan and Linda Hogan. You know, are they gonna really want to, take Tessa Blanchard? See, and this is why you don't. And this is why you don't. I feel like you don't take a definite stance on things, on certain things like this, right? You know, this is why, like, I know, or your stance should be temporary. So like WWE had a temporary stance on Hogan. You know, they abhorred what he said and everything that came out, so they basically banned him, suspended him for 2 or 3 years, 4 years, whatever it was. But then they had him come back. And see, that's what it is. So now they banned Hulk Hogan, and they banned Linda Hogan for her going through some of the things, saying some things that could be deemed to be racist. Um, so they're gonna do this right now because Tessa Blanchard would fit in perfect. Her father is there in AEW. You know, their women's division needs a star, a star to build a division. As good as Britt Baker is, she's hurt. Sheeta, Sheeta is fantastic. Be very honest. She's Japanese, and I don't know if American wrestling fans will, they will love her. They will, enjoy what she's watching, but will they really truly get behind her, right? Um, Chris Statlander has an alien gimmick. I think more people, again, they're gonna, enjoy her work. But it's funny, there are many other upcoming talented women in there, but are they really going to get behind them, the fan base? And then, so Tessa Blanchard would be someone that they could totally use, but with their stance now, are they going to do that? And then WWE, the same thing. Are they going to Are they gonna get by somebody? Now, again, you say with Randy Orton. Randy Orton has a history of being allegedly using the N word, and before recently, he's been in all lives matter type of person, and things like that. And they have Jackson Riker. And you see what they done with the Forgotten Sons. Jackson Riker um, has and a lot of it is also their gimmick too. They're pro military type of group. That's their stick, and that may not seem deemed to be good at this time in time, especially when the tag champions are two black men. So um, so yeah, I think there's a lot of things going on with that. So who knows? So I guess you can go to Ring of Honor. I guess you can go to New Japan if they wanted to. But yeah, it seems like her past is catching up to her, and she needs. I think she needs to do some soul searching and figure out what exactly does she, you know, what does she need to do to become a better performer, a better person, and exactly in the person who's going to give her that second chance or that third chance, whatever it may be. Who's going to give her that other chance to prove that she can be a dependable outside of the ring as she is dependable inside the ring. Is she going to be a great employee, a great co-worker? Is she going to, be what's needed? And I wouldn't even say maybe even be a great co-worker. Because listen, you can you can your personality is your personality, and even still, like even still, there was some stuff that we know what happened with Shawn Michaels back in his early days, and he changed his life and everything like that, and he's and came back and was a different person. But even still, there's still a lot of people. There's still a lot of people who still said that even though he came back, he was still a bit of a he still sometimes be kind of a dick to you if he wanted to. You felt like you didn't do something right, and that's because he loved the business so much, and he wanted the business to be done right. So it's a lot of stuff going on. So it's just I think it's interesting to see what's next for Tessa Blanchard, and I've been waiting to see who exactly where she would go next. What's next for Tessa Blanchard, and um, yeah. But I would say this: um, wherever she does go, I don't think she's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship there. Wherever it is, because I think one because of the you know I just think if intergender wrestling isn't that big. It is the biggest niche inside of wrestling, intergender wrestling. As much of a niche as wrestling is, intergender wrestling is even a smaller niche. And so I think she was lucky to that Impact would be. And Impact wants to, Impact is like it's probably fifth, right? It's WWE, it's AEW, it's New Japan, it's Ring of Honor. And then you probably have Impact, right? That's where you go when it comes to the most popular you know things right now. And maybe it's just New Japan with AEW because AEW is still in its infancy. Um, but it's going to be. But yeah, I don't think she'll ever get a shot at being a world heavyweight champion for an organization that's that isn't an all women's organization. So good luck, Tessa Blanchard, wherever you will land. All right, y'all, put your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you think of my putovers. Let me know what you think about my berries. And let me know what you think about my main topic, Tessa Blanchard losing, being stripped of the Impact World Heavyweight Championship and being terminated from Impact Wrestling. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you can go to patreon.com/AJTrip, become a patron. Once I hit a certain amount of patrons, we will open it up so that you can vote on what you want to see here on the YouTube channel, what you want to listen to on my podcast, and what you want to see me play on my Twitch stream. This is your boy, AJ Tripp, signing out. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.